Mail call. Well, I know it's too late for Small Business Saturday, but I got a small business and I want to promote and talk about another interesting kit. Next on Psycho for Tycho.
From Tycho, of course.
Alright, friends, so usually after our normal operating session at the club, we tend to set up our modules and we run those modules around certain areas. And of course, in December, we usually run our module at the Carson City Railroad Museum, home of many V&T locomotives. So I have to get my V&T engine all set up and running again. And one of the other things I like to run is my Tonopah and Tidewater, my modern Tonopah and Tidewater, nuclear waste train. Hey, what's going on here? Oh, no, it shouldn't be doing that. That's not a silver cask, that's a white cask for testing. Oh well. So, yeah, I got this nice little resin kit, which is of course, for a nuclear waste cask. And these things are slowly being phased out to a newer model of nuclear waste that I've been seeing, a new type of car to haul it. And most of the time, I just run a basic run-of-the-mill caboose, which this number doesn't even exist. And the reason I run this type of caboose is because nobody makes the proper car for nuclear waste trains. However, that changed not too long ago. I have now the proper caboose, and this is from one of those small business companies called State Tool and Die. And there's their website down here, or maybe, no, their website's right here. Yeah. And they make 3D printed models of both nuclear waste trains, DODX equipment, and from what I've seen, steel mill stuff. So this is a nice little jump in on things, although it wasn't cheap. It was $50. But I opened up the box, and this is what I got. So it does come as an unassembled kit-ish, but it is 3D printed. And it's really nicely 3D printed. The detail here is really cool. Even have the grab irons kind of separated. Now there are a couple of oopsies on this. The rear brake wheel is kind of like, I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like Picasso'd. And honestly, there's a lot of detail on here because this might be a problem for masking when I paint it, because from what I've seen from some of these cabooses, they get painted all sorts of colors. They get painted red, blue, black, gunmetal gray. This one I'm going to do in a Vallejo color, which is an intermediate green with a white roof. So, yay, this is going to be fun. But like I said, the detail here is excellent. $50 for me, for something like this. This is fine. There are a couple of drawbacks, though. The trucks are really wrong for this type of car. They're a little messed up, too. I'm not sure if these... There we go. I mean, these are caboose trucks, but these are friction-bearing trucks, which are like outlawed. So, that's a downside. It's supposed to be roller-bearing trucks with a generator on there. I don't have time to try and order them from Athearn, which is the only company that I know makes it. I've checked everywhere else. And that's going to be a downside for me. However, this is going to make a great addition to my nuclear waste train. So we're going to do a little bit of detailing on here. First of all, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give it the paint colors. We're going to paint the top white, the rest of it green. Then we're going to add on our white handrails and details. Everything here is white, so it's kind of awkward. We'll paint the bottom black, and then we'll show you that result, and we'll work on some windows on that. It also comes with decals. So, I mean, I'm not going to act completely outraged at $50 for, like I said, for a nicely detailed 3D printed model of a prototype caboose that's modern for one, and is not readily available in the commercial market. This is great. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break out the old airbrush. I'm going to break out the booth. This is going to take me a little while to paint, but let's get it started, and then I'll show you how I put windows and stuff in.
2 weeks later.
Alright, our caboose has been painted and decaled, and it looks pretty close to the photo I've got here of 901. This is the most modern photo I was able to find. I wanted to have this one as modern as possible for my nuclear waste train, which will be running at the Carson City's Railroad Museum here for the Christmas holidays. So it'll be rolling along with my resin nuclear waste train. So I'll be pulling this. What the? Doggone it. Okay, I'm not bringing that thing out again because it keeps doing weird stuff when I put it on the camera. I don't know what it is. Anyways, a couple of negative points that I've got to put out for this particular model. The 3D filament material that's used in this was very brittle. So when I was like trying to thread the screws for the coupler pockets, they would snap. Fortunately, Super Glue to the rescue. It put everything back together really easy, so it wasn't a big hassle, and I hope with future productions the filament material will be a little bit easier to use, a little bit easier to work with. You know, hopefully like the same thing with resin kits when they first came out. I apologize for the shaking, but I'm trying a new mount, and unfortunately the mount which goes on my table is shaking because my table is unstable. So here we go again with new camera stuff. But anyways, so there you go, folks. There's my review of State Tool and Die's 3D printed DODX caboose. Like I said, they've also got some other nuclear waste stuff on their website, as well as steel mill rolling stock and equipment, and a couple of conversions. And I wish them good luck, and I think you should go ahead and check them out for any sort of unique model railroading supplies that you might need. And with that, next week will be once again Psycho for Tycho. Hey friends, I know you're at the end of the video and all that, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out that if you're in Carson City or any of the surrounding neighborhoods, come on down to Mills Park, where the Carson City Railroad Association, my model railroad club, happens to be at. We've got both HO scale and N scale. We run modular displays. We also have, during the summer months, a 2-foot tourist railroad that kind of goes around half the park. Membership fee is about $35. If you want to run some trains, come on down. Just let us know. Link in the description, and the link is right here at the bottom. And have a good one. I'm Psycho for Tycho. We'll see you next time.